Can you hear me, Uche?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in today and happy Thursday to you all. If you're new here, I'm Kai Gabiam and I showcase Black owned businesses here. As you can see, I have a guest right here with me that will be, giving the opportunity to share more about, his company. He's actually the co-owner, so he's going to share in more details how him and his colleague, his friends, partners, I'll say, started the business. So kindly make sure you give this live stream a thumbs up, share it as well with family and friends, and stick around, okay? So, if you are also out there as a Black owned business, this platform is yours. Email me at the diaspora channel at gmail.com and you will be able as well to join me live to share your products or the services you offer. Another thing I want to quickly share for those of you that want to join the French or Ewe classes, please email me at the diaspora channel as well at gmail.com and we will take it definitely from there. So if you are not on Instagram, sorry, you are not following me on Instagram yet, please do follow me. You can also send me a message right there. And then for those of you, of course, that really want me to run your ads, or share your product more, just like let people know more about your product, definitely you can do that as well by sending me the product, or you just send me your website, everything that that you want to really put out there for people to know more about what you do. Just email me or send me a message on Instagram and I will be so happy to help you with that as well. So tonight we will be talking more in details about the importance of renewable energy in Africa. And our guest tonight goes by the name of Uche Ogechuchwu. And then, one thing you need to know about him, you can see that he's a very, young brother right here, doing amazing with, amazing thing right there in Nigeria with his friends. And that's why he's here tonight to share more about that with us. So he is the co-owner and the chief business officer at Greenage Technologies. So if you want to know more about this specific company, what they do, please stick around till the end of this live. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel so you can get my notifications each time I go live or upload a new video. Bonjour ou bonsoir, ça dépend de là où vous êtes actuellement. Je suis Kai Gabiam et je mets en avant des business black owned ici sur cette plateforme. Et ce soir, on va discuter des énergies renouvelables, de l'importance en fait des énergies renouvelables en Afrique. Et ce soir, nous recevons Uche Ogechuchwu et il est là, il est en fait le cofondateur et directeur commercial de Greenage Technologies. Donc, c'est en fait une start-up nigériane qui utilise les technologies solaires locales pour combler les lacunes en matière d'accès de l'électricité dans plus de 26 États au Nigeria. Donc, vers la fin de ce live, je vais résumer un tout petit peu ce dont on va parler ce soir. Donc, si vous êtes nouveau, n'oubliez surtout pas de vous abonner et partager aussi ce live avec la famille et les amis. How are you doing, Uche?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. And thanks so much for joining me tonight. I would love you to properly introduce yourself to the viewers and we'll take it right from there.
Thank you so much. My name is Uche. I'm co-founder at Greenage Technologies. That's how I used to address myself. I'm simply Uche. I work in energy, and I
Okay.
work with a group of young, vibrant minds in Africa. A
Right.
group of people who are interested in changing the narrative, especially
Mm.
about indigenous manufacturing and electricity in the country.
Awesome, awesome, Uche. So I know, like, backstage, people don't always know how someone starts. Like, for example, a business, when everything is, going well, they just know about you and they are proud of what you are doing. But there is always a story, behind every business that is actually making it out here today. So I really want you to first of all tell us, like a little bit about excuse me, my, sorry, my throat is a little bit dry. So I really want you to, tell us, how did you create, this company, and what was actually the driving force behind it?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to let us understand that power is a big problem in Africa, especially in Nigeria. Some statistics have it that more than 635 million people in Africa do not have access to constant power supply. And I and my friends were a victim of that. As students in the university, we had no access to constant power. When I was with my father in his factory in Onitsha, in Anambra State, Nigeria, we rarely had power supply for manufacturing. So as a result of that, we encounter lots of waste, lots of backlogs with customers, and especially losses in terms of revenue. So while as students studying sustainability, my core course was geography in the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, with friends from all over the country. We had issue with power, and one day I was at a center, just like a central place in the university, sitting down thinking about how I could create something for the school or society. And I had these two guys also sitting beside me, thinking about how they could create something for the school. So they were running a project for housing, while I was also running a project in housing in the school. So when we discovered that we had something in common, an attribute of trying to solve a particular problem or a generic problem in the university, so that was how we met. So meeting together as three students, we asked ourselves, what is the actual problem with even what we were doing? So I don't know how much time we'll have here, whether I should go into details, but maybe I could just scan or skim the discourse and then summarize by saying that we actually became five students from the
Okay.
University of Nigeria and Suka, who just came together and said, with our various expertise, let's know how we can solve the power problem in the country. Yeah, there were lots of limitations to that. People saw us as students, we don't have expertise, that's what they say. Others also say, you students, you don't have time to do this. But fortunately, we had the passion to do that. And we also had no money. So as students, we were able to contribute just $100. Then, my country equivalent is 45,000. But due to the nature of, like call it inflation or bad governance in Nigeria currently, that 45,000 is not up to £100 now. It's not up to $100 now. It's far below $80 right now. And that was what we used in starting the company. So we asked ourselves, what's the closest alternative to people using generator, which does not only waste money but pollutes the environment? We discovered it was solar. And having four engineers in the team, we tasked ourselves with trying to demystify all the various components of solar energy system. And then we understood that there was solar panel, there was charge controller, there was battery, and there was inverter. So we went further to asking ourselves, among all these units of solar energy system, which one is the most peculiar? Which one costs the most? And which one is actually giving Africa a problem? Which of these units is hindering the emergence or spread of solar energy solution in the country? And after analysis, we discovered that it was inverter that was the actual issue, because the inverter was like the general manager or the control box of the inverter, the battery charge controller, the solar panel, because it's it's just like the control center for all of them. All of them links to it. So we asked, can we produce this in Nigeria? What's the cost of producing it here in Nigeria compared to doing that in China? Is there any other economic significance of doing that? So from our analysis, we discovered that if we do it in Nigeria, we utilize local labor. Local labor means low cost of production. And because we utilize local labor, there will be ease of maintenance. So we took those two words to the market, ease of maintenance or repair and low cost of production, and now started to market our services. Started to tell people that they can go solar with an indigenous product. We were so lucky. There were lots of solar projects that were done 3, 4, 5 years ago before that time. They were just dumped by the owners and they couldn't use it because of the failed, issues among solar energy in the system. So what we did was to offer them a revitalization of their project, to revive the projects they have, give it new life, new breath, and then make them believe more in solar. Because we noticed that the inverter was at the center of the issue. So we took that, went to lots of the customers that we met during our, initial market surveys, and offered them our own inverters, and they started buying. Some of them agreed that we refurbish their inverters. So we refurbished their inverters. From there, some of them agreed to just not just give us contracts for inverters, but also contracts to give them full solar energy system. So from being a student research group that was forming a company with $100, we started imagine growing into becoming a company, solving actual society problem and raising money and making money from it. In our first year, using the current rate as at that time, our revenue was almost that was around, we made about $60,000 within that first year as students. So it gave us an enabling, that mindset that we could do better, that we could fly, and it set the tone for the subsequent things that we did, and the questions you might be asking me later. Thank you.
So I really, first of all, like what you just shared when it comes to you guys like come together and try your best to find a solution for a problem that you guys had at that time. So I really hope that we're going to have more people on the continent with this kind of mindset instead of us always relying on our governments to solve every problem. We can also sit down 2, 3, 4, 5 and ask ourselves, what can we do to fix this? So you and your friends are problem solvers, and definitely I'm sure like people will go home tonight with something, because it's about time we look inside and see what can we actually do to change things. And that is one thing that we really need on the continent if we want things to really move very fast. Because we always complain, oh, excuse me, the way things are structured there, especially when you come from the diaspora, there are so many people that don't always like certain things. But instead of us waiting for someone to find a solution for that, we can be that the one that will find solution and make things move in the direction that we actually want. So I really like that about your what you and your friends did at that time. But apart from that, did you receive like any funding or support grants from the government to do what you guys are doing now?
We've not received any fund or grant from the government till today. I like telling people, when you start a business or you start a project, shouldn't be expecting people to fund you first. Look for ways to create value in the society. Because when you solve people's problem, they give you money. When we started a company, our first motive or drive for revenue was from the general public. And the funds we got were enough for us to keep growing organically. So, but what happened was within our first year, lots of people in the society, private individuals, saw what we were doing and felt that this company and this group of people are worth investing in. So it was local individuals that came to us with their own private money and bought shares from our ideas, from our projects, and own equity in the company. So it was not from the government. The government never gave us any money. They have not given us anything to today. I don't know whether they would do that. So it's not part of the discussion. So after private individuals gave us money, we started deploying more solutions, building more products. Then we
Right.
won the USADF, the United States African Development Foundation, Energy Challenge Award of $100,000, which was targeted at providing 100 units of system or 100 kilowatts of energy to business micro businesses, homes, and hospitals across the country. So that we did. Our agreement was to do 100, but we did 157,000. Yeah, we did 157 in
Wow.
kilowatt. So that was 100,000 was needed, but we did 157,000 within that space of time, which was what gave us more credence as
Mm-hmm.
we're telling people that we're not just here to, try to make money or just get money from people, but we're actually trying to solve problem in
Mm-hmm.
nation in Africa. As we speak, most of our power systems are, helping more than 200,000 people enjoy power, electricity. Either
Mm-hmm.
the ones in the hospital, serving thousands of people every day, or the ones in the rural community via some of our projects, serving thousands of people every day. So these are the things we did. So in summary, it's not the government; it is the values we created for the society,
For the people.
the people, and the private individuals who saw
Hmm.
interest in what we are doing to fund it, not the government. Thank you.
That's amazing. And definitely, even any young person or old, someone out there listening right now to what you just shared, that is actually going to make them realize, in case they don't know yet, that when you are actually, providing something that is going to give value to people, eventually the beginning might be hard, like you said, it's only you and your friends, but later on people actually believe in what you are doing, know that this is great product, this is actually needed, and then they start pouring into it. And that is something that most of the time you're going to hear is good for, like, governments, don't get me wrong, supporting young and creative minds. But if that is not there, what I learned from what you said, let us not just dwell on the fact that, we don't have no one that can actually support what we want to do. Then let that dream or that vision or that idea just, die. But you took that, and with what you had at that time, you did something with it. And now you even won, an award of, say, $100,000. If you kill that idea there and there, you even not going to reach the point of people actually knowing what you are doing, winning that award, now gain more funds to create more. So that is a very, very important aspect of tonight lives, that I hope anyone that will come across this video will realize that even if you don't have the funding, start with what you have. And later on, once people realize the value you're going to give them through the services or products you want to sell, for example, then they will definitely support what you are doing. So thanks so much, Uche, for sharing that with us. So this shows, that people receive your product well. But was that the case, like, from the start, or it took a little bit of a time for people to start actually believing in your product, if I may put it like that?
Yeah, it's normal for people not to believe in your product when you start. So usually from my experience, and that's what I tell people, don't expect Africans to believe in your product simply because it is made in Africa. Africans have this nostalgia that makes them reject what is made in Africa. They feel most Africans prefer to take Chinese product to your product, no matter how inferior it is. And that was the case with ours. So we never expected people, Nigerians, to accept our product. So what we did, because we already knew that, was to create a convincing mechanism to let them know that this product works. Like I said, first of all, we didn't go to those who give us money to buy. We went to those who already spent money in Chinese products that failed and told them, see, this product that is not working, we can get it back to life. Lots of them, I said, okay, no problem, because they were not going to lose anything. So when we brought them back to life, it was in that means that they said, so if you could do this, let me pay you for a new project. So people started paying us $10,000, $20,000 to do new projects for them. And that was how those referrals kept growing because it has to start from somewhere. The referral kept growing until we got to the level we are. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Uche. Thank you. And that is actually the reason why I started this platform, to push our products, push our services, so people can actually, look within first and see, who is doing what within our community, that I can actually go and use that product or use that service, for example. So that is one thing that you said so well. Like, our people, unfortunately, now, people, I would say now, so many people, their mind is, changing, and we want to embrace, our products, using brothers and sisters services, whether here in the diaspora or on the continent. So, like, some of you that are already familiar with this platform, the guests are from all over the world, so you don't have to, be in the diaspora to come and promote your product or service here, purely because, unfortunately, some of us, we, people have that mindset that, oh, if he said made in Cameroon, made in Togo, made in Nigeria, forget it, go and get the Chinese product. But we will be there and complaining that our companies, our, stores are closing down. Guess what? If no one is supporting them, it's not the Chinese man that will come and be buying anything from my store, for example, or your store. So if we don't support our own, then it's going to be the same story. So it's good, like, you put that out there, so people will actually understand that if they are, young creators with brilliant ideas coming out with products, it's down to us, the people, to support them. So, we thank God that there are actually people over there in Nigeria that believed, at some point, in what you were doing and supported you. If not for them, I don't think at some point you're still going to have the drive to keep pushing. And that is
Exactly.
very, very important. And again,
Exactly.
it's not a government official that puts greenage, is it green energy.
Yeah.
That's
Solar.
it. Someone was asking for the name of the company. So it's
Green
not a
A.
government of official that put that company out there. It's the people that actually believed in the product, believe in, what you guys are doing, that actually give you the driving force to keep doing what you are doing. And now, you are pretty much, I'm talking about you, I'm from Togo, I know now about what, yourself, the services your company offer, for example. And that is going to be the case for so many people that watch this video later. So just start, and let's start changing our mindset, that it has to say come from made in Italy, made in China for us to embrace, because it's not helping our business owners and entrepreneurs, people that have great products out there. Is not helping them. Sometimes it doesn't even inspire you to push yourself further, because that support is lacking. So let's do better. But Uche, I really want you to go. I think we have few comments here that I'll put as well on the screen. Someone asked for your website, if you have a website, and I think you send me your email, right? Okay.
I sent you my website.
Okay, and the website. So I'm going to add that as well in the description box and comment section. Well, apart from what you and your partners are doing, you're also helping young minds. I want you to share a little bit about uh, what actually inspired you to start, the hardware garage.
Yeah, I think it's a complicated story,
Oh,
but
okay.
I will make it very simple. As a startup founder, just the way I am on this station talking right now, lots of people would contact me maybe after now saying, Uche, I heard your story, I heard what you and your friends are doing. And this is my own story. This is what I do. How do I do better? Or how do I become like you? You know, it's a normal slogan in Africa that I want to be like you when I grow up. So that became a recurring story. So I and my friends we asked ourselves, how do we actually help more young people to be better than us or to toe the same line that we have told so they can create their own companies or projects in Africa? So that was how the Hardware Garage was born. So we decided to set up a system, a company, where people who need either products or who have ideas, prototypes, or skilled people who actually want to develop their own startups or companies or products. They just come to the garage, we work with them, provide them with machines, help them model their product. Then, if they need investors, we can direct them to where they need them. They can get the investors, or we can also co-invest in their project for them to start. If it makes sense, the project grows from where it is and becomes a company. So that's exactly what the garage does. And later on, we also discovered that lots of people that come to the garage actually don't have skills. They can't even be employed, but they don't have money as well. So we decided to also set up a part of the garage as an institute that trains people in skilled labor, teaching people how they can learn how to manufacture products, different electronic products, or work in the hardware space industry or solar energy space or industry to either get gainfully employed or create their own companies. So these are the two things the garage started doing. Officially, we launched last year around June, July. I think 30th of June, we launched and we made some calls. Startups came. I'll be very proud to tell you that we selected two startups last year that have been working with us. And from last year to today, we've trained more than 120 people on hardware skills, tradable skills that can give them job after they graduate. Currently have about 30 students in the current session going on, and we're getting about 50 students sponsored by the state government to come and learn, you know, skills that can make them employed. And before I forget, part of my reason for going to the UK is to also have opportunity to speak to people like you in diaspora to provide skills, provide funding in any capacity you can to your people in Africa to learn tradable skills. Tradable skills are things that can help them get employment and or help them create their own businesses without actually, looking for government to give them money, or running around, looking for those who can provide funds for them. Because when you have skills, then you can create things. So that was how the outdoor garage started. And one of the good news I'm proud to say is that two of the startups we selected last year have almost become successful. One of them was selected, the founder was selected for the Westerly, I think Westerly Foundation Leadership Project. The startup also won the Mini Grid Africa Energy Challenge. They currently won the NCIC Energy Challenge Award. And all these things come with funding and money. Just
Mm,
for a startup that came to the garage last year with a product that actually needs to be in the market. And
right.
the second startup, they do is that they provide electric. They convert fuel vehicles to electric vehicles. So most people try to manufacture electric vehicles, but what this startup does is the ones that are already available. How do we
Mm,
convert them so that we don't have cars or vehicles dumping in Africa? So they convert them to electric. And we work with the startup, help them get funding $10,000. They
wow.
started. Right now, they were selected for the Royal Academy of Engineering African Prize for Innovation. This is a startup that just had an idea and a vision to create something for a long time now. But walking into the garage, their dream has become true, because right now it's not just that they are thinking of something, but they have about four tricycles operating in Nigeria, and already working with some partners to create more tricycles that will enable them, be fully in business and be driving more and more revenues. So I think what the garage is doing is exceptional, and that's my own judgment. And I will be so happy to have lots of people come join us to create more, you know, more businesses and employable youths in Africa.
Thanks so much, Uche, for sharing that. And that is something that definitely going to encourage more young minds out there that actually have, great projects or great, things they are working on now, because it's so important. If, I would say the government should, pull up and do what they can do to, to encourage, I would say, uh, young inventors or inventors in general, because those are the people that actually going to solve so many problems on the continent. So instead of always relying on people from other countries outside Africa to come and fix this, fix that, when it comes to even common road, people have to come from China and all those places, whilst there are people on the ground that you can just train and let them do the job and do it properly, because at the end of the day they know that is their country they are building. So kudos to you and your partners for putting up the hardware garage and working and encouraging and inspiring more young people to do what they are doing right now. And I wanted to ask you if you have any message for the diasporans, but you already touch on that already. So I really want you to quickly let the viewers know where they can find you before we end the live tonight.
Yeah, I'm currently in London right now. If anybody wants to see me physically, I'm open to connecting for us to engage. You could reach me via email. I shared my email on the comments. You could check your private chat, contact@greenagetech.com, or you could send me a mail also to uche@hwg.ng. I'm currently in London, trying to raise money to sponsor 100 youths in Nigeria or any part of Africa to learn skill from 2023 January to December. So if you are open to helping people to learn skills, could just buzz me and we can have that discussion. Our company is currently building a bigger factory space in Nigeria. We raised $500,000 in June to make that happen. And we're excited at getting any partnership or collaboration to expand that work going forward. Thank you. I'll be so happy to have more conversation.
Awesome. So, can you share your socials, please? Are you
Yeah, at
on?
Greenage Tech Engine. So I don't know
Okay.
if I should say it
All
comment.
right. I'll add that as
Um,
well later on
that's
in the
at
description
Greenage.
box.
Yes, at Greenage Tech Engine. So
So, are
that's
you and your colleague partners looking forward to expand, across the continent? Because what you are doing is so needed. Personally, I don't think we should have shortages of, power in Africa simply because, we have the sun out like every day, pretty much every day throughout the year. So this shouldn't be an issue, especially if we have companies like yours, when the government should definitely like rally behind what you are doing and present you to neighboring countries, so people can actually use your products, and eventually that is going to help so many households across Africa. So is it like something you and your partners are working on, like to start, maybe reaching out to countries like Benin, Togo, and the others.
yeah. We're open to expansion.
Okay.
But currently our expansion plan is based on either a franchising model. So if you that's a franchising model, or just a total free licensing or collaboration to open what we do in your company, in your country. So currently, if you want to open Greenage in any country, we could discuss with you, share ideas, discuss the model. We can either give you, either we can either just franchise with you or transfer our idea free to you so that you can implement in your country. The energy poverty is so big. Like I said at the beginning, 635 million people do not have access to electricity.
Wow.
That's a terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big market, and we're open to working with lots of people to get energy poverty out of Africa. Thank you.
You're welcome, Uche, and really, really appreciate the fact that you took out time to join me here tonight and share, more about uh, your company and how you started. And then I really want you to, before we close out, to share with us, the importance of renewable energy in Africa.
Yeah, renewable energy. I think I'll come from several ways. Number one, lots of African cities are within the equator in terms of location in the Earth's latitude or longitudinal position. That's geographic position. So what that means is that lots of Africa have access to direct sun. So it means that we are positioned to tap from an abundant natural resource that can always be renewed. That it means that it does not deplete over a period of time. And also, because lots of Africa depends so much on fuel generator, like in my country, we buy diesel generator so many times, which also breaks down in the normal electronics. But the issue is that this thing pollutes the environment with carbon. It pollutes the environment with noise. And now fuel price, oil price is on the rise, causing the cost of diesel or petrol to be expensive. But with solar, you could not just save the environment, but also save costs, because your actual cost of solar that could last you for over 15, 20 years. Solar panel lifespan is usually 15, 20 years. But batteries lifespan differs. We have batteries that will last you for 6 months, other one that will last you for 1 year, other one that will last you for 2 years. We have batteries that will last you for 15 years, depending on what the kind of battery you get. So if you get a good battery, you will discover that the cost of fueling your generator for 2 years, sometimes for even a year and 6 months, that's 18 months, is enough for you to get a solar system that will give you power for more than 5 years. So it's not just that you're saving the environment, you're also saving money. And you're adding value to the beauty that God has given Africa, which is the abundant sun.
Awesome, Uche. Thanks so much. So, pour nos frères et sœurs francophones, comme je l'ai mentionné au début de ce live, c'est à propos des panneaux solaires, l'utilisation des panneaux solaires, par exemple, en Afrique, l'importance de ça, en fait. Donc, Uche a partagé avec nous comment lui et puis ses amis ont créé cette compagnie et franchement, ils ont commencé à partir de rien. C'est eux-mêmes qui ont contribué. Il a dit $50 et puis ils ont commencé. Et après, les gens ont compris l'importance de ce qu'ils font et ils ont commencé par soutenir leur projet. Et avec ça, à un moment donné, ils ont gagné un prix qui est comme, je crois, de 100 000 dollars. Donc, avec ça, ils ont utilisé ça aussi pour créer en fait plus de produits, comme ils sont dans le domaine du panneau solaire. Donc, ça nous montre simplement qu'on ne doit pas attendre nos gouvernements que c'est seulement les gouvernements qui doivent régler tous nos problèmes. Mais nous, en tant que peuple, on va voir aussi, hein, c'est très important de voir ce que nous pouvons faire pour régler nos problèmes. Bien sûr, c'est très important que le gouvernement aide les gens, les jeunes, les gens qui sont les inventeurs comme Uche et ses amis. Ça leur donnera plus d'énergie, ça leur donnera plus de courage de continuer. Mais ce n'était pas le cas. Mais d'autres personnes, les individuels, les ont aidés et là, ils sont là où ils sont aujourd'hui. Donc, à ce moment, ils ne sont pas encore dans d'autres pays, mais ils ont ce plan-là aussi et ils sont disponibles, ouverts à travailler avec d'autres pays, par exemple. Donc, si c'est un domaine, vous êtes intéressé dans ce domaine, vous pouvez le contacter aussi. Je vais mettre son email et puis leur site dans la barre de description. Donc, si c'est votre première fois, n'oubliez pas de liker et partager le live. On est en train de finir de toutes les façons. Partagez la vidéo avec quelqu'un pour inspirer aussi d'autres frères et sœurs sur le continent que même si vous n'avez pas les fonds, commencez avec ce que vous avez. Et quand les gens sauront l'importance de ce que vous faites, ils vont vous soutenir. Donc, j'espère que vous avez appris quelque chose à partir de ce live et l'importance des panneaux solaires, de l'utilisation des panneaux solaires aussi en Afrique parce qu'on a le soleil si c'est presque tous les jours. Donc, on ne devrait pas avoir les coupures d'électricité autres sur le continent. Si on a déjà les compagnies africaines comme Greenage, par exemple, qui font ce qu'ils sont en train de faire. Donc, ils ont besoin de nos soutiens pour enfin qu'ils puissent être aussi dans d'autres pays dans la sous-région. Donc, je vais vous dire bonne soirée et abonnez-vous aussi, bien sûr, si c'est votre première fois sur ma chaîne et contactez-moi si vous voulez me joindre ici pour partager vos services ou produits. Uche, this is the end of tonight's live. Any last word for the viewers?
It depends on what the viewers are interested in, but I would say something I noticed here in London. I noticed lots of people in London are Africans or even Europeans. They tend to live this individualistic lifestyle. It's difficult to see people get together to think around something and cooperate. It looks like people are fierce and very competitive, even among themselves. So my story is different because I don't live a competitive life. Instead, I live a collaborative life. So I will encourage more people to collaborate more, especially Africans, because our life and that of, let's say, Europeans or Americans are not the same. So when you collaborate more, you synergize to grow. But when you compete more, what I've noticed in terms of Africa is that you will kill your profit and you will not grow. So Peter Ten, in one of his book, popular book I love, From Zero to One, he said competition kills profit. I enjoy that because I've seen that. So let's collaborate more. Let's not look for what the government will do for us, but let's look for how we can either change the government or help our people. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Uche. Well summarized. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Kindly share this video with family and friends, and keep patronizing Black businesses wherever you are. Email me as well if you want to join me here live to share your products or services. And I'll see you all next week, same time. Good night.
Oh, bye.